tell you, she studied with Dr. Emoto. Actually, I'm messing up her intro already because I'm so excited about what she's been doing. She is pretty incredible. Min Dannerstedt has been on the planet for a long time. She's got an amazing life's work. Today, we're going to learn about energy healing for instant balance, which God knows I could use right about now. Listen carefully, because she's amazing. Min's life work is to empower people to ignite energy healing and spiritual balance. She received a certification of Doctor of Philosophy from the Open International University for Complementary Medicines in 1998. She's also a certified Hatha instructor, and I hope she'll tell us what that is, trained by Dr. Masaru Emoto. Listen carefully. His researches reveal how thoughts and words interact with our vibrational, subtle energies in physical balance. She's been certified with him. She's been trained by him. She's traveled with him. If you watch What the Bleep, that's the guy in What's the Bleep, you guys. That's the guy who has the whole thing about the healing power of water, and why I wish I had it in front of me right now, why on my bottle of filtered water, I do have labels that say success and other things on them because of that. And you're part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Min to the stage. I'm so excited to have you with us. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much, Ken. And thank you for what you're doing. The theme of this event attracted me. When I heard an invitation, I said, oh, I will join, because love is something very important right now in our time. We go deeper, much more deeper in the whole planet than ever before, because we all need to be reminded of that love that Ken Krell is doing so well by introducing one whole week, 24 hours a day. I cannot believe. I don't know, your energy may come from the stars, Ken, because this is incredible. And I'm very honored and happy that I can have the time to share with you something that I have done since almost 30 years and teaching like more than 25 years. And everything that I'm doing is based on love too, although it's not called love, but the foundation and the source is from the deep, the first energy of human, the gratitude, the understanding and the consciousness of what we have while we are alive. So the word love is the word that people like to use, and it's represented by the heart, very simple, but it's go deeper than that. And thank you for this opportunity.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled and I'm honored.
Love is understood by so many people differently, but it's so deep. It's a subject. Look, Ken Krell organize that 7 days, 24 hours a day, introduced and shared by all different people from all over the world. And I have heard, and everybody is talking so beautifully. That means we still have a lot to understand, to discover, and to experience. Thank you very much. So I'm very happy to share with you my life work. I've been learning how to ignite our inner energy so that we can tap into the universe, into the cosmos, and take the stars, the light, the beautiful force of the nature to bring in our energy, in our light, to lift us up so that we can think brighter. Everything that we can do, optimize and leverage so that we can give the best of ourselves while we are here on earth. What I like to share to all of you. So, for example, if we think about, this is what I've done with Dr. Emoto too. I like these pictures because we are not alone in this planet. If we go further, then we have the earth, the sun, the stars, the galaxy, and then the cosmos. But if we look on the earth, we are human beings, and we go to smaller, then we have body, organ, cells, molecules, particles, atoms, and then light. That's why it's all remind us from who we are and where we come from. So what we need to understand is we all have this energy that we emanate. Some people can see that energy around us. Some people don't see, not because it doesn't exist, but because we don't pay attention. But the more we are conscious about this energy, the more this energy will grow and will vibrate and is expanding, and it's make beautiful light around us and beautiful planet and beautiful place, beautiful city, beautiful place. So our contribution is very important. So my teaching, the techniques that I'm teaching, is how to remind us that we are connected to the universe. But how? How are we connected to the universe? Because we are in our body, in our human beings, but we are constantly, permanently connected with the universe through the energy centers that most of us we call by chakras. Chakras is a Sanskrit word that means the energy centers connecting our life force to the mother force, if you want, the universe or the cosmos. And the more we are conscious, the more these energy centers are working, vibrating, flowing, and connecting intensively, giving us a different way of thinking, the powerful, bright thinking, and so that everything that we do, we can contribute in a better way. So the techniques that we are learning are not invented by anybody. It belongs to humanity. Since the time of the ancient Egypt, people are talking and using, applying the energy, doing the healing and doing the healing to everybody, and first of all, for ourselves. So that is something that is all for all of us. And we love to share with you. And we have different techniques. So look at here, for example, all of us, we have the capacity to do self-healing. All of us, without exception, we are born with that because we are born with light, energy, beautiful body, brain, heart, and everything. All of us have the possession of the beautiful light and the healing possibility that we forgot or we don't pay attention. And some people, when they are conscious and they develop, we maybe we don't understand. We say, oh, that person is like have a gift. But in fact, all of us are gifted if we wanted to learn. And this is what I'm doing since almost 30 years, since when my children were babies. And I remember I used to take them to all the class, and they follow with all the, with everything that I'm doing, and they are growing in this atmosphere, and I teaching them how to stay in balance and how to use, the self-healing. So let's say, for example, to give you an idea to understand, you see, this is an ancient pictures from Egypt. And you see you see all the stars. So when we are connected with the universe with techniques, simple techniques that I'm going to share with you if you come to my programs, you just need to take 1 or 2 stars from the universe to have everything open and to achieve higher things in life. So many people in our society, if we observe, they do incredible things. They do beautiful things to benefit so many people in the whole planet, because they don't know, but they had already some stars that they connected and they let it embracing and do. But what if everybody know a technique? And even what we do unconsciously, what if we can do that consciously with technique that we can share to other people? And you see the spot. These are the energy centers. And this is a picture who represent love, because today the theme is love. The lady Nude, she's bending like a mother, loving the children with love from the energy centers, taking the stars, take all the things that we can to protect the family, the baby, their life, and everybody. Inside, there are a lot of things that we can learn, that are people, the society. So all these we can learn, and if we have time together. That is to share with you simple techniques that come from the beginning of humanity. And here, when we started to learn about how to ignite our energy, you can see our energy is expanding. The eyes don't see, but the heart can feel. The third eye can feel and can see. And we will develop that when we have the time together. And all this is among the different sessions that I'm doing since 30 years. I was invited to go to so many countries and share the techniques. And every time that I'm doing, I'm learning. So that is everything that we learn. Look at all of us everywhere. We are always connected, always interacting with everybody. So this is here, for example, this is an exercise that I will explain to you. And this is my gift. This is a gift that you can receive, that Ken will share with you, and how you can get that gift is that one. Okay. Now, if we have understand all these techniques helping us to do self-healing, to connect with the universe, to connect with people, is to improve and leverage our quality of life. Because we all are connected. Even a butterfly and a flower are connected with us. So do not talk about life of people. Each people is connected to us. Sometimes we forget, but without being conscious, we always think about the things that we don't want. But if we shift our thinking and think about the things that we want, the thing that we are gifted, the things that are available in the universe, in the cosmos, and what if we know techniques, and if we apply very simple this, so that we can uplift and share and leverage our thinking, because the brain and the heart is the most important thing. Now, scientifically, it has proven that the energy, the electromagnetic field of our heart is bigger and more powerful than the electromagnetic of our brain. So this is the pictures, and this is true. So today, I'm very glad that I connected this teaching of self-healing and of connecting with the universe to create balance in life, to the love that can create. And the team is bringing to the world during 7 days, 24 hours a day. Because the power of love, this is real. The power of love is very, very unlimited. We don't believe in that because we don't never pay attention. But if we can take some time and to relax and understand and go deep into our emotional and spiritual potential, we will understand that this is the biggest power. This will drive us. This will take us and show us and guide us to do whatever we wanted to do in life. Professionally, family, everything, economy, everything we need, and it has to come from our heart. That's why in our time now, people are talking more about emotional intelligence, because everything that we do, if it's not taking the source from our heart, will be missing something. So the EQ of our time now is much more important than ever, because we have so many things laid out to allow us to contribute and to live a life with much more possibility to reach our dreams. So the love is very important, no matter how that love is placed in business, in family, in responsibility, in economy, in education, in creation, in science, that it's always start from the power of love, from the love inside us, from our inner self, from our energy, and that energy is growing every day. We can change our energy, we can nurture, and we can uplift and expand our energy. You see, look, this picture, we can expand. Some people have this sphere of energy so large that before we approach them, we can feel the light already. So our work is how we can connect to the universe, tap into our inner energy, and work to create instant balance, harmony, so that whatever we do, whatever we say, and whatever we think as Dr. Emoto explained, is the reflection of love. So talking about Dr. Emoto, his research explained that whatever we say, even the words that we write, if we write love or we write hate, the energy is different. Why? Because when we write, our energy go to our fingers, to our pen, and through the words, and it's come to the water, for example, and our thought. If we think only, all the vibration, our energy take the different flow, different direction, different frequencies, different vibrations. It's at a very subtle level that we don't pay attention. So if we understand all that, we are so responsible for everything, and we will make much better choice. Choice of words, choice of thoughts, choice of taking care of ourselves. So the theme of love today reminds us, first of all, we have to love ourselves. We have to love ourselves because we are human beings on earth. And each human beings have so much value if we pay attention and we allow this value to grow. Each human beings have contribution and has responsibility and has mission with a little m. Mission is anything that we can do, from a mom staying at home to any people, any person who do anything in this society has a mission. And we are grateful of whatever they do to make this society and to make this world beautiful, more or less. It depends on all of us. So this energy is first of all to heal ourselves, heal our family, heal everything. Things go up and down in life, but we need to find always the balance and keep our harmony and always create soft energy, balanced energy. That's why my program is called Instant Balance. And I have a gift called Instant Balance Recharge. So to recharge ourselves at any time, so we can find ourselves, create ourselves balance and harmony, so that we can first of all be in harmony with ourselves, doing things that we wish to do the best of ourselves, and then inspire our children, our parents, our brother and sister, co-worker, friend. Everywhere we are always in connection with humans, starting from ourselves. So this is what I wanted to share to all of you. There is so many things that I wanted to share with you, but the time is a little bit limited. So I wanted to share with you this, and then I would like to show you these pictures. Example, like this picture is again a picture from the zodiac. It's the 4 seasons from Egypt. And I can explain so many things from each of the pictures of the image here, explaining about the most important thing. I don't know how, because I cannot zoom the pictures right now, but all the pictures are telling us a story of the thinking of humans, the power and the connection of humans with the universe. I would like to share off with all of you. If we have the chance and the opportunity to be together, I will have all this class that I've been doing during these last 25 years all over the world in a very classical way. We did in a hotel room, and we did seminars, and I traveled all over the world. But right now, everything will be possible online. And I am preparing, and it's almost ready. In March, in the springtime, I will start to have all this program that I've been doing 25 to 30 years ago, to bring online so that it can be available and accessible to anybody in any place in the whole world. The program will be defined to be very simple, very accessible for everybody. I would like to thank everybody for the time that you have taken to attend, to come to this beautiful event. And on the theme of love, I wanted to thank Ken Krell and everybody, and thank all the speakers that I have listen since the beginning, and I will listen to the next days. And the beauty of this is I can listen again, because I know that it will be on YouTube, and I will learn so much of each of you. I wanted to thank you, and if there is some time left, Kren, maybe I can answer to some questions if somebody would like to ask some questions.
No, Min, you've got another 10 minutes to play with if you want to go. I don't see questions here. So if something stuff you want to add, go.
I have 10 more minutes.
Keep going. Actually, you got 9.
Oh, okay. So
okay. Keep going.
If I continue, then I will go deeper in the self-healing. Okay. What does mean self-healing? Self-healing is the first thing that we need to take care, because if we are not healed, if we are not in balance, then how can we help the family? Let's say if I'm a mother, how can I take care of the children and the family? First of all, I need to be healthy. So self-love is to taking care of our health. Our health here is not only by eating. Yes, it is important, very important. Everything that we swallow will define who we will be in the future. Self-healing means that we need to take care of our thinking, of our energy, of our alignment. Are we disconnected? You know that sometimes we are disconnected without knowing, because sometimes we let life take us away. So we are made of light, energy, if you want. We use different terms, and we are made by a physical body. So normally we need to be very aligned, tuned like that, okay? Like my body, soul. But many of us, because of worries, and because of stress, and because of all this tension, we are walking ourselves far away from the love. The first love is the love of ourselves. We mistreat ourselves. So we forget about ourselves. When we use that body in a sitting way, and then after our body is tired. So self-healing is to listen, to know who we are, to know what are the signs. We have to feel the energy. If you sit down and be quiet, you can feel the energy flowing in your body. It can go everywhere, and you feel. Then we have a technique to learn how to connect with the cosmos. So the light of the cosmos can uplift us and leverage us. Then we sleep. By practicing simple, few minutes every day, we will be developing self-healing for ourselves first. Self-healing can be done by, like a mom taking care of the children, like, okay, I have pain here, you massage or anything. But self-healing can be done by the thought. You think that you are aligned. You think that you can be much better. You think that you are in harmony. So the power of thought is very important in self-healing, even though we can have the hand, but everything starts from the thinking, the source of life. And all this starts from the heart. The heart is where the life begins. The heart is where the life ends. When the life ends, our body become cold. I like the theme of today. It's a huge subject that that's why we have so many people bringing the topic of what they're doing, but linked to the love that they bring, they share in what they're doing, the love that they have for themselves, starting from self-energy, the love of thinking in an affirmative way, of doing something good for ourselves first. This is very important. Loving ourselves is the beginning of loving the others. Self-healing can be learned by everybody. When we have self-healing, we can instantly heal ourselves, even if we are in a very difficult situation. So why not, while waiting for the ambulance, we do our self-healing? This is what I've been doing my whole life for my children and my family. Always self-healing, always healing every day. And when we need, we can wait for the ambulance or go to the doctor. It's free from the universe. It's around us anytime. We can be in the forest, we can be in a class, we can be in front of a screen with Zoom. We can think about ourselves for self-healing, to readjust and realign ourselves. Love is something that we need to think that is much larger than that. It's not only loving one person. Yes, it is important. So Dr. Emoto talked about the self-love, the love of a couple, of husband and wife, couple, the love of parents, the love of children, the love of the country, the love of co-worker. All these are proven by the vibrations when we talk about something, when we talk about a word, and it's reflected to the water crystal that take different shape. And whenever we talk about love, all the crystals are symmetric, balanced, so beautiful. And that is why I love that subject. It's so linked with what I am doing and sharing and gifting to the world since so many decades. And that is why now I think it's a wonderful thing for me to take this online so that many people can reach at the same time. I am I'm very expecting so that I can start this and sharing with the world. And Ken, I would love to share with you more everything about the researches of Dr. Emoto. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, man. You're amazing and awesome. You caught me with some food in my mouth. But it's a pleasure to have you with us. The entire concept of energy and healing yourself and really being at cause is such an important thing. And so many people don't recognize that. I can just reach something here. So many people don't recognize that. But the power of that and the power of us being able to self-heal and to take charge of our lives and of our experiences is massive. And for people to start recognizing that we are not victims, that we are total causal creatures, that changes everything when you recognize that you can be in control. And that's what we try to teach. That's what we try to give people the tools to do. That's what World Love Week is all about. That's what Opportunitython was about last year. When people were all in the victim mode about the pandemic. Oh my gosh, yeah, a lot of people died and will still die until this thing is under control. But what's fascinating is that for those of us that have, I don't want to say just the right attitude, but so many people, for whatever reason, have had their best year ever. And it's not an isolated instance. It's so many of us that have made that shift and made that pivot have turned this into their best year ever. So I want to thank you for being with us again. I'm thrilled, and I want to connect with you after this is over because I love Dr. Emoto. I love what he does. Actually, real quick, do me a favor, Bob. Pull out the water bottle for the filtered water from the top shelf. Yeah, bring that over. Not that one, the other one, the big one. Yeah, bring it over real quick. Thank you. So just to show you, I wasn't kidding around. I don't know if you can see.
Yes,
this
I understand you. The
okay.
Christmas, beautiful.
Yeah. And this one, right? And this one says success. So I do that with my water because the cellular level makes a big difference. So yeah.
And it really works.
Yeah, I'm counting on it. I've been doing it for years. I lost the rest of I've got to find the rest of the stickers. They've disappeared after all these years, but I've been doing that forever. So, and since you're part of that, it's how grateful I am about that. Men's bonuses are all in the dashboard, you guys. So I want you to go to worldloveweek.com/dashboard, grab them. If you want to be able to watch this on a consistent basis, grab the VIP package while you still can. Min, you are a light, and I'm so grateful to have you with us. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Ken, and thank you, everybody. It was my honor and my joy to contribute and to share with you today. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Now let me just stop the recording real quick to make it easier. And we're still live. And right now, next, we have the amazing Terry Demore. If you want to hang out with us, Min, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'll bid you a great afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is, because I have a big smile coming here. Let me just change spotlights here, because Terry Demoro is joining. She's in the house. There she is, the relation chick. I love that.
Hello. I want to make sure, is it the right way for you? Because it's backwards to me.
It's fine. It's perfect for me. From what I can see.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure.
Just so that you know who this person is. Terry Demoro is a published author and relationship coach who focuses on guiding people through the process of developing healthy connections with themselves and with others. Perfect connection with following men. She's a long life mental health advocate and always the go-to for advice. She has launched her coaching services with the hope of sharing her insights with as many people as possible. Her ultimate goal is to show people how to love themselves and start living the positive lives that they deserve, the lives that you deserve. Actually, just one life for right now. So today, you're going to learn how to love your life, live your life, love your life, and have the power of affirmations on your side. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, the rock and roll superstar of, I'll keep going here.
Please, I love it.
Who is it that we have? I don't even know anymore. Oh, it's Terry Demoro. Hey, let's give her a big hand. Welcome aboard, Terry.
Thank you so much, Min. I enjoyed listening to your presentation because it is very much in alignment with what I do and what I speak about. We hit a lot of the same points, so that's incredible. I am Terry Demoro, and professionally, I go by the Relation Chick, and I help people who are ready to kick toxicity out of their lives, and I guide them on the path to developing healthier and more positive connections, first with themselves and then with others. So a lot of the time when I first introduce myself as a relationship coach, people tend to go to romantic relationships. And while it's true that I do work with a lot of people, and usually just individually, not quite as couples, who are in romantic relationships and want to strengthen those, the fact is that we have relationships with absolutely everything in our lives. We have relationships with our friends, our family, we have relationships with money, with food, with our workplace, some that you may not even realize. And a lot of the time there are blocks or difficulties that are preventing us from living the happy, positive lives that we really do deserve and that are attainable. That is the most important part. I'm here to show you how working on yourself is an attainable goal, and that once you really open yourself up to self-love and having a better relationship with yourself, because it is an ongoing process. You need that line of communication open with yourself. When you have that, you start attracting so much good and so much positivity into your life. So I'm very excited, and I think we should get started. What I want to do today is give you a bit of an insight into what led me on my journey, because it wasn't easy. And I think sometimes people get a little put off seeing someone who appears very confident, but to be honest, it takes a lot of work, and that's okay. That is what we're here to do. So my journey with finding myself and finding what I can love about myself has been a long one, and it's ongoing, as I've said. And my self-image really started taking some negative shots as early as grade 3. Now, what was happening in grade 3 was I started exhibiting symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder. The problem was that nobody realized that what I was saying and how I was acting was caused by this anxiety disorder. There were several mornings, more than I can count, where that fight happened with my mom. I don't want to go to school. I can't go to school. I feel sick. My stomach's upset. As soon as she let me stay home, those went away. And it wasn't that I wasn't feeling them. It wasn't that I was faking them. It's that what was causing it was the anxiety of school. And once that was removed, the symptoms went away as well. So unfortunately, people didn't believe me. And they said either I was being too sensitive, or that being the youngest of 3, and by quite a bit, my brother and sister are quite a bit older, I was just attention seeking. This wasn't the case. I was experiencing real physical anxiety symptoms, but nobody caught it. So because people didn't believe me and they were dismissing what I was feeling, this is where my own seeds of self-doubt started to plant and grow. If I couldn't even trust what I was feeling, how could I trust anything else? This is something that happens quite frequently, and we've started to recognize it as being gaslighting. Now, gaslighting is an easy trap to fall into. It happens when we say things like, oh, you shouldn't feel like that, or it really can't be that bad. And what you're doing, sometimes we say this as a comfort, and our intentions are good. We want to show someone that, oh, you know what, like it really isn't that bad. Here's a silver lining. The problem with the way you're phrasing it more often than not is that you're telling someone that they can't trust what it is they're feeling, that they're wrong in feeling what they are or experiencing what they are. And a lot of the times, what we're actually doing is saying it for ourselves. We're trying to make them feel better so we don't feel awkward with somebody not feeling at their best. It's pretty common, but it ends up being very soul crushing to the person that it happens to. They can't trust themselves anymore. And how are they going to keep going if they constantly have to ask reassurance from outside sources? So, even though my anxiety clearly began revealing itself in grade 3, I had to wait until I was almost 30 for a proper diagnosis and to start treatment. These treatments were not just talk therapy. I needed medication, and that's okay. But I struggled for years and years and years and didn't know why. And it's because my brain chemistry is a little quirky, which, hey, we all have stuff like that. So getting the help I needed has helped me actually start living a life that I'm in control of and not just a passenger in. So that was very important. And what was kind of frustrating to me at the time was that it it took me having horrible anxiety attacks while I was pregnant for other people to perk up and say, okay, something's wrong. So it's like, it wasn't even that they were validating me, they were validating my pregnancy. So even still, it was like, okay, it never quite sat like people were trying to necessarily get to me and what I needed. But that aside, I got what I did need, and I've been able to start moving forward. It was during my therapy sessions that I really started focusing on my patterns of negative self-talk. And I had no idea that I was doing them as often as I was. Something that I've done for a very long time is use humor to, cover up uncomfortable situations. I think a lot of us do. But I was kind of veiling my negative talk in my own humor. So, you're making a coffee first thing in the morning and you pick it up and it just spills everywhere. And, I'd say to myself, well, of course it was, because, I'm a friggin' idiot. And, why wouldn't this happen? And I remember saying that to my therapist one day, and she was like, hold on. Sit and actually think about what you just said. Take the humor away from it, because your body doesn't hear humor, it hears the words. I was like, oh, okay. So I realized I was doing it a lot more than I even thought. And I was literally setting myself up for a failure of a day before I even got out the door. The problem is we spend so much time focusing on making sure we're treating others kindly that we forget to afford ourselves the same sort of kindnesses. And what's even more interesting is that if you take the time to develop this positive relationship with yourself, you are naturally going to have these positive relationships with other people. You're naturally going to start treating them kindly and with dignity and in a way that makes them feel worthy. And that's so important. And if you're ever finding that you're struggling for whatever reason to treat someone kindly, it is a red flag to take a beat and really look into yourself and try and figure out what is actually happening. If it's happening consistently, there could be a major block. If it's happening every once in a while, it could just be you're having a bad day, and we are all allowed to have those. But it's important to check in with yourself and get yourself back on the right track. This practice of positive self-talk like literally saved my life just about a year after I had my son. And what was happening was, in addition to the anxiety disorder that I lived with, I've also been dealing with other chronic illnesses for the majority of my life. I experienced my first blinding migraine in grade 8. I didn't get diagnosed with chronic migraine until I was 19, but they kept going through that entire time and have since. My knee started dislocating on its own when I was in grade 5. I have hypermobility. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 24, and also diagnosed with fibromyalgia and osteoarthritis, because people kept telling me that I was attention seeking, that it couldn't be that bad, that it was all in my head, and that the pain, the fatigue, it wasn't really there. So I definitely got brushed off more often than not. One of my favorites, of course, was always, "Oh, you're too young to have these issues." Well, it's like, great, thanks. I'll let my chronic illnesses know that they can come back, when I hit 40 or 50. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work like that. So each time I heard these words from another professional, medical professional, telling me that, no, you're wrong. Your feelings are not validated. Medical professionals, that it's all in my head. I have a chronic illness that a good majority of doctors don't believe in. Let that sink in for a second. I have a chronic illness which symptoms are so intense. I've been tested for lupus, for MS, for Lyme disease. That's how bad the symptoms are. But the diagnosis that I got, doctors don't believe it. Imagine that. All right, so this is where things ended up getting pretty dark for me. About a year after having my son, I started having my body shut down in a way that I've never experienced before. And as a quick side note, the reason for this is because with fibromyalgia, any sort of trauma that you experience, mental or physical, will kick it into high gear. So that's how it gets started. And then each time you experience a subsequent trauma, it gets kicked up higher. So just the very nature of pregnancy and birthing, the body perceives as trauma, and therefore I ended up progressing in my symptoms. I was couch bound for almost 2 years. I was on medications that aren't developed for fibro because there are none. I have to take medications for other illnesses and hope that they work. They don't, or they didn't for me. They made me so sick and so loopy. It was dangerous. I lost out on a year at least of my son's growth when he was just a baby. It was awful. My husband and I both fell into a horrible depression, and we were struggling, and I couldn't work, and I couldn't give my son the attention and the time that I knew he deserved. And I reverted back to my self-sabotaging negative talk. The voice that kept saying, "I can't, so why bother?" The voice that kept saying, "I'm better off dead than alive. I'm worth more dead than alive." But this time, there was a second voice in there, and it was faint, but she was there, and it was my therapist. And she was saying to me, "What are you doing? Stop it. Is this how you would speak to your best friend? Is this how you would speak to someone you love?" And it wasn't. And so eventually, after about, I would say about 16 months of really being down in that gutter, I was able to start pulling myself back up. And it wasn't easy. It never is. but I started focusing on the things that were in my control. They're a little more few and far between when you have chronic illnesses, but they exist, they're there. So I started focusing on those, and I started to really listen to my body. I removed that narrative that I was at war with myself, because that's what it feels like. It feels like you are fighting yourself on a daily basis. But I removed that narrative and I replaced it with, I need to have a better understanding, communication, and relationship with my body and mind. So once I did that, once I made the conscious decision to love myself and develop that better relationship, my entire being absolutely changed. I started laughing again, which I hadn't for a very long time. My husband and I enjoyed being around each other again. His mood improved because I was feeling better. We really started to grow and become who we used to be before all of this happened. I also started joining groups and networking with people who had similar experiences with chronic illness and with people who didn't, but were just excited and passionate about what they wanted to do in life. And I found a lot of solitude in that and a lot of growth and so much support. And that's huge, especially when you're working on yourself. You need to have the support. It can be difficult to try and do what you need to do for yourself when you're constantly being told that you shouldn't or that you're not worth it. So it can be very difficult to overcome those obstacles, but it is the absolute number one place you need to start, is looking inside. So my journey isn't over yet. It never will be. Like I've been saying over and over again, it will keep going. But that it's okay. You should be. You should be constantly checking in with yourself, making sure what you're doing, what you're experiencing is vibing with you. We were talking a lot about vibes in the previous segment, and it's absolutely true. You need to make sure that you have an alignment. And that's not selfish. That is necessary in your life. So how does this fit into your business? Well, quite simply, you get to start attracting the very type of people you want to work with, the very type of clientele you want to have. If you are feeling good within yourself, you're just giving off good vibes to people who are interacting with you, they'll want to keep interacting with you. They'll want to come back again and again and again because there's something about you. And that something is confidence, and it's self-worth. And it's a little bit of leadership as well. People see it and they say, I want that. How can I be like that? What do I need to do to get me to this person's status? Like, they're so confident in themselves. They captivate me. What do I need to do? When you have a client or a customer, they're there because they need leadership. They're there because they need guidance. They don't know. It can be selling anything. You know, I need to get a book. Well, what kind of book do you need? What do you want it to do for you? Sometimes people just walk in off the street and say, oh yeah, I think I'm going to look at some clothing. Well, okay, well, what is it you need right now? People always need leadership. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel worthy of your time. And it makes them feel confident that you have got them. So one of the reasons I got into coaching is because I was actually previously a photographer. I still am, but with COVID and lockdowns, it's been difficult to be allowed to go out and do sessions. But while I was doing them, my favorite part was always during the session when a client would say, I feel beautiful. I'm feeling confident. Or they would message me later and say, hey, after you left, like I was on a high. I felt amazing. And that is what meant the world to me. And that is what I wanted to be achieving on a more regular basis. So that is where I got my coaching business up and running. And it's incredible. People need a leader, but they can't learn and be led by someone who is not confident, who doesn't think they're worthy. You need to be able to show it in order to teach it. And it won't end. You know, the process of learning will keep going, it will keep turning. But the most important thing I learned through absolutely all of it is that I am worthy. And I'm going to say it again. I am worthy. And it's important that you've internalized that. You truly believe it. You feel it. You live a life that is reflective of that affirmation, I am worthy. Affirmations are a fantastic way to start retraining your brain. I used to think they were rather hokey, but I learned that that's because I was resistant to what they were trying to teach me. A simple affirmation may sound simple in words. It may be a few words, I am beautiful. But when you are forced to stop and internalize that and believe it, it's a whole different ballgame. I can say, yeah, I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. Sure, you know it. You know you're supposed to know it, but do you really? Affirmations are a great way to get started. I was practicing affirmations before I even realized I was. I had a cupboard full of mugs and a drawer full of t-shirts with different sayings and slogans and words on them. And I would pick them out depending on how I felt that day. And I came to realize that that was how I was practicing affirmations for myself before fully giving myself over to the practice. So you don't have to dive in. You don't have to start big. You can climb, you can do your baby steps. They're all so important and so valid to the process. But the important thing is to start, is to take that first step or that second, that third, keep going forward. If you are at peace and happy with yourself, you're going to attract that in your outside life. And I promise you that the trash that might be hanging around, it will take itself out. Don't even worry about it. And it's okay to say bye-bye. So that is what I have for you today. And I hope that you got some excellent value out of it, maybe a little bit of inspiration. And I'll invite Ken to come back on and take us out. Or Charmaine, I don't know. Okay.
You got plenty of time. I was making some tea. You caught me.
I figured you may have been getting some of those vitals I was taken care of.
Working on the hydration, getting the tea. Yeah, that'll be good. Hang on one second. So Bob, when the tea water's done, would you do me a favor and give me my concierge is here. So he'll take care
He's a good guy. I like that guy.
He's a good guy. He's the best. He's like, did you hear that? Yeah. Yeah. Just a little bit about that. We deserve a concierge. All of us do in our lives in one way or the other. And B, Bob comes in during my Pride event, which is you've been to it. It's 3 long days. And his job is to take care of, make sure I'm properly teed, watered, hydrated. If there's food or whatever, he manages that. And he also interfaces with our team so that I can be present with you guys. And so he makes it look really easy, but it's a good thing. He actually came over last night to have some apple crumble, because that was one of the payments that he requires is apple crumble.
That's amazing. Great job, Bob.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, is that what that's in there? Yeah. So he took it and finished it. And then he came over at like 1 o'clock in the morning, because I'm up doing World Love Week, and proceeded to fall asleep on the floor in the living room on the carpet. Yeah. Welcome to our world.
I've been there.
Yeah. And I have a very comfortable carpet, actually. So I've slept on the floor many times too. And by choice, not by falling down. Anyway, I got you laughing, which is important. I will say that your comments about self-talk and self-talk with humor are really important. And as I was literally putting a couple of things away, listening to you, I was like, shit, I do that. and I do. Even with this week, I was like, that was a crazy thing for me to do. And it was a crazy thing. I'm saying that in a fun way, but it was a crazy thing to do. And saying that is not necessarily the most empowering thing. So I do want to underscore what you've just said, because it's a big deal. Thoughts are things. Words are things. I was talking earlier in our Safari group about an hour ago about language, and in Robert Cialdini's new book, Persuasion, he talks about a hospital, and this particular hospital administrator tried to get the hospital to change their languaging. So rather than I'm going to crush you in a contest, it would be, I want to outpace the competition. Okay. we're not at war, right? I forget the other terminology used, but the language that he was using, that they changed it to, was not violent language. And what they discovered is that the healing elements of the hospital, the results the hospital had, they skyrocketed. So wow. a big deal, really a big deal. And so I want to change our language the same way. And I actually want to reach out to a hospital administrator, because I wanted to learn what his languaging was, because I haven't yet figured out what I want to use instead. But when I see people, I'm going to crush it, we're going to kill the competition, I'm like, no. No.
You just want to do better than them.
yeah. We want to outpace the competition. I love that language. Right. We want to outpace them, because frankly, if competition is awesome, we don't want to kill them, because we want them to make us better the next time around. Competition makes us better. And that's critically important. So yeah, I want to acknowledge you for all the obstacles that you have outpaced and overcome and survived, because it is a big deal. It truly is a big deal. And I want to encourage all of you to go to the dashboard and pick up Terry's fantastic gift for all of you, because you deserve it. And it's really important. We do need to take at heart what you've learned so far today with Min and with Terry and so many others that you've been able to watch here at World Love Week, because it really is about shining and doing better than we are, and recognizing that we just happen to be as mortal as they are. Earlier today, the question was, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? And the answer is, it's a thing. It's the value we choose to attribute it to. Gee whiz, I got late for my flight. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. Then the plane crashed. Oh, thank goodness I was late for my flight. Right? Or whatever. There's all sorts of things. I left the house an hour late because the baby got sick or whatever. I missed the 30 car pileup on the freeway, or I missed the traffic jam that would have gotten me to work at the exact same time anyway. Mm-hmm. So, what is it that how we're protected by the universe in so many different ways? It's like, it's all good. It's all That's good. Right. I've had events where the numbers haven't been exactly right. And the connections that were made along the way were perfect, or where technology doesn't work and it's like, oh, it's terrible. But no, the audience bonded with you because you were able to overcome that and dance with it and make it look easy. They're like, they're cool. They're cool. So it makes a big difference all the way down the line. It really does. Any final thoughts you want to share with us in like the minute we have left?
Yeah, you're the coolest, Ken.
Well, and I can't argue with that. You're 100% right. I always like it when my guests are right. Thank you. That was so sweet. And it takes one to know one. Like does attract like. Like really does attract like. And I consider myself incredibly blessed to have people like you and Min and Charmaine and the rest of the people that we've had here at World Love Week on our stage, because it makes a big difference. It really does. And it's a community that we're building, and I'm super excited about it. So I want to acknowledge you for being here. Thank you, and all that other good stuff.
Thank you.
A pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the incredible, what's her name again? Terry DeMoro. Thank you so much. World Love Week continues in just a few seconds. Meanwhile, we have other places to be. In fact, I've got a bonus session to deliver to our Pride VIPs in 20 seconds. So if that's you, get over to the Zoom room, which I'm about to open. For the rest of you, we will see you on the next session, which is launching in about 12 seconds here at World Love Week. See you soon, everybody. Charmaine, you need to take us out of that stream.